What's up, angry designers? Massimo here. I wanted to give you a quick heads up. You guys asked for it, and of course, I'm gonna try to deliver. We've been hustling our asses off this past week, and I'm proud to say that we are doing our first interview this upcoming weekend. And I'm not gonna say who it is, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be so fucking worth it, and we are so pumped to do it. Downfall, of course, is all that hustling this week kind of screwed us over for recording a new episode, which is on a topic that we really jazzed to talk about, but damn, not as jazzed to talk about as the interview that we got lined up. We didn't want to leave you hanging though in the meantime, so we're bringing back one of our most awesome episodes that got a lot of high fives and a lot of thank yous. So please, grab yourself a bourbon, or if you're driving, maybe a coffee, sit back, enjoy, laugh, and thank you for being angry. Stay angry, our friends. You could just literally fake anything you wanted to. You could put up, some sort of, really fringe award locally and slap it on your website after, we won, best website for Omaha, Kentucky, or what, and
in the southwest region, right?
You miss the fact that the population is 12, of which 11 is your family. You're listening to The Angry Designer. Today we're here to talk about awards, design awards, awards for websites, awards for this. Let's not even go on about music and movies, because that's a whole different can of worms.
Even in the design field, there's like a billion friggin' categories for.
That's true, right?
Yeah, I know.
Like everybody's got an award. Somehow we're like in the top three. We have an award for being one of the top 3 agencies in this town by a website. I have no freaking idea who the hell it is. But thanks.
Yeah, that's good. That's
good
to know.
It's ridiculous, right? Must be really creditable.
Yeah. Yeah, so really, really credible, right?
Oh, jeez. Well, and I think that's the whole problem about these whole awards, right? Like,
all the glitz and glamour and all this kind of stuff. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? What do you think?
Yeah. So you know how I feel. I mean, I have a very distant. So in our 22 years of business, we did not submit any client work ever for any sort of judge, contest, award. Nothing. Wow. Nothing. And because we had no intent, that's not why we were in this game.
Right.
And that's why I have to question. I mean, personally, that's why I question, but I mean, that's my whole feeling about it. But we never have.
Yeah.
And I stand true to my word that, for me, it's not about other designers going, wow, that was a great ad. You did a great job. No, shit. No, this is about my clients being like, shit, those guys make me money. They create shit that works. They create great work for me. And the reality is often what's functional, what works well for clients and for generating leads and for helping them get their message out isn't necessarily always the sexiest.
No.
It looks great. Yes. We do a great job when the job is right, but let's face it, when their intent is to generate leads for a website or to have people sign up on a form or, they're at a trade show and they need to catch people's attentions.
Exactly.
It's not always the most coolest artsiest piece that wins.
This is true. You're absolutely right. That's the thing. These awards things, are they really, to a designer, does it validate your self-worth?
Designer to agencies.
Yes.
Early on in my career, actually when we started, when I started Z Factor, young, I was ambitious totally. And still to this day, I do this, but I called up virtually every owner of an agency at that time in town and be like, hey, I just started my business. Do you want to sit and chat and can I ask you questions? Right. And here
nice.
I'm thinking everybody would be like, yeah, sure. I'll help you out. Yeah. Most of the people were dicks. Right. They didn't want to talk. They gave me shitty advice. One prick. Oh. This guy was such a jerk off. He set up a lunch appointment with me and the dude stood me up. And then at the end of it, he's like, sorry, I got tied up. How about next week? After I'm sitting there like a fucking moron in this restaurant. Sure enough, he apparently did that to a lot of other people. So again, he was one of these full of himself type of designers.
Yes.
Anyway, needless to say, there was a few that did meet. Okay. And I remember those guys. I will always remember them. They were awesome. They were gentlemen. Sometimes they gave me good advice. Some of them just talked in circles.
Yeah.
And honestly, some of them I felt just wanted to scope me out to see what we were up to. Right.
Interesting.
But the one guy that I was really, I really looked into his agent. I liked his agency. I thought, wow, this is a company I want to be with.
Yeah.
One of the first pieces of advice that he told me was submit your work to any competition, any award, anything you can get, submit it. Wow. And I was like, why? Right? And he's like, well, because then it'll make people want to work with you because you're award winning.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the wrong reason. It was the wrong advice.
Yes.
It was, like, again, I don't want people to, they create award-winning work. Too bad it doesn't work for us.
But it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's award-winning, but it's not reward-winning, right? Like it's,
oh, that's good.
it's,
I like
it's,
that.
it's,
yeah.
I don't know. It was so egotistical.
Yeah.
And then, later on, once I, got to know him and watched them keep going, it was very much his personality. It was about him, right? He was that dude.
Yeah.
So
there's a different kind of focus on it with some agencies, I think, right? There are the ones that seek that kind of those accolades and things like that, right? And then there's like us, down in the trenches, nitty gritty, not going to put up our heads to do any of this kind of stuff because it's pointless, really.
Yeah, well, it is because again, who's judging these awards?
Right. Well, there you go.
Right. So, I'm going to submit an award from my agency and I'm going to have this panel of other designers that are handpicked for whatever reason. Some of them might be qualified, but they're going to rate my work based on what? Their subjective opinion. Like if this is supposed to be an award, then get some real data and be like, hey, you know what? This design generated this many leads.
Yes.
This design increased. Get something legitimate. That's what an award should be, not a who's prettiest contest.
Yes. Well, I read a story. There was from this competition in Melbourne, Australia, where this guy he was on the jury, he was on the panel of judges.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And he literally had he had work.
Could he vote for his own work?
Yeah, well, that's what he's trying to do, right? They were like, wait a minute. Maybe we should have some criteria here.
Oh my! See, like again, it's ridiculous.
It's funny, but this is how intense some people are and how passionate some people are about these awards, right?
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
And really, what do they mean?
Yes.
Like we couldn't create a fictitious award. We can create, this was kind of like the issues I had back, in college, because again, it was the graphic design teachers or the people who are supposed to be teaching you grading your work based on their subjective opinion.
Yeah.
Do they like it? Do they not? It wasn't black and white,
Yeah.
right? Like it really wasn't. It's not like a pass or fail type thing. It was like, I don't think it really achieved what we wanted it to achieve. And I was just like, well, dude, that's wrong. Like, here's my stance on it. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of see awards the same way like that.
Yes. It's kind of it's very stupid. Really, would you think? Yeah. I think so. It reeks of desperation. You know what I mean?
I agree
it's
with
just
that.
kind of
I agree with that.
I need this validation to prove to everybody that I'm this awesome hotshot designer.
Like seriously. And I mean, again, in the end, if you get an award from DNAD or an Impact Award, right, or AGDA, Best Design Award,
Indigo
right?
Awards,
sure,
these type of
So what is that going to do? Does that mean I can raise my rates now?
Yeah. Do you get to charge extra?
Right? Like, and the thing is, it's like,
I wonder.
Well, and maybe, and if for the few people that, but again, like we complained about this regarding that logo review that we just did, right?
Yeah.
And they chose an award-winning logo designer from Pentagram in New York.
Right.
And again, Pentagram I like, but who cares that it was an award-winning designer? Because in my opinion, that logo was horrible. And in all fairness, reviews on that logo have been horrible.
Oh,
People
really?
are like,
Okay.
what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah,
so
we're not alone on that.
Oh shit! No, on that one, no. That was a dope. Or no, that was a nope.
That was a nope. That was a definite
big nope. And
that's probably the most definitive nope I think we've had.
Absolutely,
too. Like,
right?
Really.
And again, the funny thing is, it could have won awards because it was very nice looking and trendy.
It was very trendy,
but
very pretty.
In our opinion, it didn't serve the customer justice. It probably hurt them in the long run.
I think it would. Yeah.
So again, but award-winning designer, and if he submitted that, he would probably get an award for it.
Yeah.
So again, I question, like that's ridiculous. It's I don't
they're
know.
expensive to enter these competitions too. It's like you think if you're a junior entering, or you're in school or something like that. It's like $50 to submit your work into this kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
if you've got, it's a lot more than for agencies,
and that's just one.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, and for agencies, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, the price would be huge.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
those go up. I think the last time I remember, like, I think they were like, you could submit your award for the B2B this and that and this and that. And the cost of entry per whatever was like $3,000
Oh
per
my
design.
God, really?
You know, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, that's
Why?
stupid right there. Just to have your ego stroked. Do you think competition is good for the design industry and designers in general?
You mean like the pass fail win lose competition?
This kind of thing
sense?
entering in these competitions or in these awards.
So I don't think that they're good for a designer, especially an upcoming designer, especially for a young designer. For the winners, sure, why not?
Yeah.
But for the loser, and let's face it, there's not one loser. There's as many
There's a
submitted. There
bunch.
could be hundreds.
Exactly.
Okay, and then why? Because everybody's it's because a lot of it's a popularity contest. You can't tell me that doesn't sway your opinion because it's subjective. Some people might like it. Some people agree. They disagree. Right.
Yeah.
Again, this is where it's like that win lose. It's not very clear. So
Yes.
no, it gives people that would totally play on people's conscience.
Yeah.
Like I mean, oh my God, you want to talk about like totally self-conscious,
Yeah.
right? It'll make
Yeah.
people totally self-conscious about their work. They're not going to want to submit anything.
Yeah, totally.
Like that's how imposter syndrome comes.
And then that into a whole, like a spiral that you can go into.
Dude, totally.
Where your confidence gets hurt.
You're totally right.
You're just not feeling the love there.
Do you feel that people like when they try to submit or create work intentionally, like that dude told me, you submit everything you can and get an award for it? Do you think it's like it pushes them to do better work?
That is a good question. I don't think so. I think if your intentions are pure and you're doing it for the right reasons, your work's going to be good anyway.
Yeah.
You don't really, again, it's kind of one of those things you don't focus on if you're doing things for the awards.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yes,
Don't
I
you think?
agree. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, because we have a process always. We always start.
Yes.
You start at the end. Think about the customer, right? Like we have a process. Creative, of course, it's in the process, but it's not led.
Yes.
Right. Where a lot of the really cool shit that we'll see in like the magazines, the communication arts, and all
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
They're great to look at.
Yes.
But a lot of them are just they don't even look like real ads.
No,
They're
like
creative. Right? It's like you flip through it. It's like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I would never see that
Exactly.
anywhere.
That's the funny thing is I would see all this stuff in communication arts and things like that.
Yeah.
And never would see it in a magazine.
Absolutely not.
You
Right?
know what I mean?
wouldn't.
It was just like, so where's this going?
So then what's winning? That's the big thing.
Yeah, you win. It's just maybe it's just a wank fest. I don't know.
Oh, dude, I think so. I think it's a who's got a biggest penis contest. Really? Or, respectfly, maybe biggest vagina.
Yeah, the biggest vagina. Yeah, we cover the both.
Cover them
bases
both
there.
up. But I mean, wonder if that even works the same. It has to be an ego fest. It has to be. Right?
Yes.
Like, okay, I used to love billboards. Passionate about billboards. I thought they were the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
Right? And billboards, that really was about the creative.
That was.
Okay.
Because you have
yes.
very little time to get
Right.
to
So you
communicate
wanted
what
to
you're
shock
getting
and
across.
get people's attention.
Right.
So, a level of creativity there for something cool to be appreciative is one thing, right?
Yes.
But that's like arts.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, right? Like when you see something like that downtown Toronto and you see people kind of, like that's very urban, it's very localized. It's kind of a different art form. But when we're talking about, digital ads, we're talking about print ads, even websites. Okay.
Yes.
And again, I've seen there's so many, website awards out there, right? And often the ones that win are nothing but flash, big images, glitz, but you often have no idea what the hell it's for.
Exactly.
Is it even generating them leads?
But this is the thing is, I always see these fancy, websites with all this cool shit going on.
Yeah.
And it's like it looks really great. It's fun to look at. But say you're somebody who's going back all the time to this kind of thing. Wouldn't that get annoying?
Get annoying when it always takes like 30 seconds to load every single time just so you can go and find the contact information. Oh, dude. Yeah, you know what? It maybe makes people want to be more creative.
It could.
But I don't feel that being more creative is necessarily the best solution for the customer.
Yes.
Because if you're too creative,
Right.
whatever you're creating is missing the mark altogether.
And then sometimes that too, if you're again aiming for a super creative piece, you're going to miss what the client has talked about. And completely overstep, and they're going to end up with something that they're like, this is no good. I can't use this.
Yeah. Do you think ever a client puts it out there and messes with your head? Like okay, we've had clients say, all right, I want this. I want you to think outside the box with this one. I want you to do something like you've never done, right?
Yeah.
And they're putting it out there. I remember I had a customer like that when he's like, I want to be risky. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he's like, so we came back with a kick-ass risky campaign that checked all the boxes. And in the end, he backed out completely.
He backed out,
right?
Jesus.